I'm going to try to edit this video as best as I can. So before there was a clicking issue with the oil burner, start, stop, start, stop. Eventually it would trip out the motor and I would have to reset and continue. So I'm pretty handy, so I went through all possibilities cheaply as possible. So at start I thought it was just a fuel deficiency. So I immediately went, because it hasn't been cleaned in a while, I went to the tank to check the oil filter, which is over here. Okay, you can see it down there too clearly or not. Okay, that way. Okay, the fuel filter down there, you just unscrew that top bolt, the bottom comes out, you replace the filter and put it back together. Now what I did was I unscrewed the line right there, went all the way around over to the oil burner here, disconnected this one and took an air pump, foot air pump, and blew all the crap out of it instead of getting the CO2 things and whatever. So it pretty much blew a lot of stuff out. Reconnected both. This is your fuel pump. So I took these screws out while this was off. Took this out, there's a screen inside. Clean that screen out real well, put it back together. Then when you start up and try it again, there's a bleeder right here. I can make sure there's a good flow out. So if you're getting a good flow out of here, your pump's good. So it's going to come out of there real well when you try to run it. All right, stop and close that. Next, it continued to have the clicking issue. So I took the screw out here. This is your transformer. Flip it over. There's a hinge right here. Flip it over. That's your two electrodes that hit the nozzle. So flip that over. Also inside there is your CAD cell, which will tell you whether or not the flame is there or not to stop the fuel from going into the chamber. So next I thought and change the nozzle out. There's a tiny hole that can plug fairly fast, fairly easily. So what you have to do in that instance, disconnect this. This little nut here unscrews and comes off. You flip the transformer off while I stress this to turn the power off before you flip this over, or do any work. Actually, this is what I do. So take that off, loosen this tube here for the fuel feed, loosen this, take this nut off, take the screw out, pull the transformer over, you'll see the hook and the nozzle. You maneuver that to get it out. Be careful you don't crack the white things, porcelain, whatever I think they were. Take two wrenches and take the tip of it off. Now there's a specific tip nozzle for each burner, and it's engraved in the tip of the nozzle. So take it to your local boiler place, give it to them like I did. They match it up exactly. There's like a certain degree and a certain port size hole for the amount of fuel going into a certain size of boiler. So I did that, came back home, put the new filter in, clean all the other filters, put it back together, same clicking noise. Next, I went onto YouTube, and I thank everybody that puts YouTube videos out there for me to research and fix my own issues, such as this. But I haven't seen anything about the clicking issue, which is why I'm doing this right now. So, to test your CAD cell inside here, which I thought maybe was telling it that there was fuel, wasn't fuel, would start, stop, these two yellow wires over here, you take one off, you can get a multimeter, set it to ohms, put one on one wire and one on the disconnected wire, and you should get like a low reading with this closed, your transformer box closed, because that's where the cell is inside here. Then when you open it, you should get a very high reading because you're letting light in towards the cell. If you get no reading, then it's your CAD cell, which is fairly cheap to replace. It just pulls out, put a new cell in. It's just like a little eyeball. Okay, so we changed, bleed out the lines, changed the pump filter, the oil tank filter, the nozzle we put in there. We checked the resistance of the CAD cell, which was good. Turn it back on, still bad, still clicking. So I was just about to throw a towel in and call a repairman. I went up to Lowe's or Home Depot. I got this one specifically at Home Depot. The controller. And thought it was $100 more than what I wanted to spend actually, but you would spend a whole lot more for a serviceman. Bought this, 4 wires, these 2 back here for a thermostat. They loop, tell it when they're calling for heat, when it's not calling for heat, turn on, turn off. And then here the yellow ones are for the CAD cell inside here, which will tell it, the CAD cell sees light, tells the motor to start, tells the fuel to pump, tells the transformer to spark, hence the flame. So I went and got a new one, wired it. When you wire it underneath for the motor, for the CAD cell, and the blower, you'll have 3 wires coming out of this box. The orange, black, and white. And you'll take this off, you'll see comparable, same colored ones already on your old one, hopefully. And you just disconnect those, reconnect the new ones, black to black, white to white, and the orange goes over to the transformer. So I did that, and presto, working like a champ. So hopefully that works for you. If it's like a loud clicking, like hopefully I can get the video on here with this description. It should help you out. So in the meantime, I did a whole cleaning of the furnace. Took all the tubes and stuff out, cleaned it, brushed it down while you're doing all this. But hopefully you won't have to take like 6 hours to figure this out. Loud clicking noise, I'll try to link up the video of the sound. And more than likely it's your controller. So good luck. Any comments, let me know.